Hey,
This
hey,
is
hey.
Shabazz.
Nice to meet you, Shabazz.
Nice to meet you too.
You too. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to the mountain farm.
Right, Shabazz.
Hey,
What's up, brother?
hey. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, brother. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, dude?
How are you, buddy?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
All right. Let's talk.
Yeah, we met.
we
We
did.
met. Yeah.
So I'm just going to give you the lay of the land. This is a good place to do it, and just kind of give you an idea of why we chose this spot.
Yeah.
To do what we did, right? That's what that area right over there we call Machu Picchu. That's our upper canopy, and you can see the row right there. They've been taking plants out of here as of yesterday, so they pretty much cleared this whole area. You'll see there's a few plants left down below, but that's a row of pear blossom from East Fork cultivars, and then there's some blue orchids. You ever grow from?
No, unfortunately, we didn't get that.
Yeah, they're really nice. But you can see, I mean, this is what we do. This is our laboratory, our outdoor farm.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. You can see Shasta and so the name of our farm is Pilot Farm, and you can see it, but we'd have to walk up there a bit.
Is that the little Buddhist area down there?
The Buddha colony?
Yeah, the Buddhists
Yeah.
are down there. You can see them. Actually, if we walked up there, you can see kind of their little setup too.
First load of pear blossoms coming right here.
It's all critical berry. So that you can see our drying setup there. If you want to walk in, we can kind of see.
Sure.
Lemon octane and ROG Royal OG.
The fade on that is beautiful.
So typically what we like to, this is a 40 footer. We have a lot of 20 footer containers you'll see down below. And we like to fill one in a day.
Okay.
Right, it all goes in. This is a little hard for us to fill in a day, so we actually, because it's a 40 footer, we did this side yesterday, they're doing this side, and then we'll be done, and then we'll go to the 20 footers, and that way everything cures at the same time. So all this was cured dried last week. This was our first harvest.
Okay.
And this is our, I don't know if you noticed this with the lemon octane, you have two phenos. We had the early one. So this is the early pheno of lemon octane. It's dry, and now we just cure it in here. So we just kind of get it to a nice state, and then the next stage is for the trim. And you're welcome to trim anything you want to. This is how we do it. We always leave it on the stalk. We don't buck them down because we like that aeration. We like the way it cures. The moisture will come out of the stem into the bud, right? And it really seals it in instead of getting a really dry product. This is one of theirs too. Yeah, smell that. Smells like perfume.
So what do you look for? What do you like in aroma for hemp?
So
What are you into?
basically what I go for is I want type 3 flower to smell and taste like type 1 flower. So all of the diesel, the gas, the skunk, depending on the genetic, all of those VSCs. And I'm big on educating people about, there's way too much importance put on terpenes. People talk about cannabis, and 99% of people, they think that most of the cannabis smell comes from terpenes, and that's not true. Well, in some strains, yes. But all of that, the dank, the diesel, the gas, the skunk, that comes from sulfurs and aldehydes and alcohols in the plant, which are much more minor than terpenes, but they're much more detectable to our olfactory senses. So anyways, so I look for things that are the loudest, dankest, gassy, exotic stuff. I'm trying to get CBD flower more in that direction.
So this is where the final, after they trim it in the trim room, they'll come in here and the guys will get it, bag it up. We got a sealer and all that, and it goes out. This is some of our branding here. They go into these bags.
Oh, I like that.
See, part of packaging things, right? Like these were our pre-roll packs, and the thing is, These are, and then it has we used to have our little flying squirrel as one of our mascots, still is. Matt has a lot of issues with squirrels, so it was a bit of an inside joke. The space squirrels, and even with like the little UFOs and
Nice.
coming down there. So there's all these like little hidden things. But
Nice.
These
I
are,
like that.
It's our final one. We need to reprint this. But the original zine, or some story we wrote, talked about you.
Or no, this is pear blossom. Pear blossom is what they're doing now. So this is East Fork. That's all our Bubba down there.
Nice.
And that's Blue Orchid. That's East Fork. So Zoe's Bubba down there, and then this is pear blossom from East Fork.
So my big question is, have you ever seen a Sasquatch up here?
I was just,
Oh, look at your
I didn't know. I noticed the shirt.
we have a story for you.
got
On the way down, I'll tell
Okay,
it.
perfect.
You can tell our style here is, everything's in the native soil, right? We just kind of let it all kind of naturally happen. We don't feed them very much at all. They'll get a little bit of compost. So it's kind of more like the vineyard style. Like if you've heard people talk about vineyards where they want to stress the kind of the grapes, let the sugars pop out. It's kind of the same thing here. We're just letting these plants do their thing naturally. Don't push them too hard. Don't have big, huge colas, big fluffy colas. Let them push these trachs out, all the medicine, and we find it's easy. They're way easier to manage. We like to let them do their thing and let them yellow out at the end, and then we know they're done. But the proof's in the pudding, right? When it's all finished. So we have all our zones have names. That's called Machu Picchu. This is called OG because this is where I originally started the gardens back 20 years ago. Could you lose some turf?
Smell the sulfur.
It'll mellow out.
Exciting is a interesting word to choose, yeah.
I didn't want to tell you guys, but they usually don't let me drive down here. Cougars hang out under there.
Oh, that's great.
You see those sort of that hillside going up way up high?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we were building the trail, Randy's the excavator.
Okay.
I was up top, and I'm walking the trail down. It wasn't built yet, but he was working his way up, building this whole thing. I mean, obviously it took him a while, a month to do it. And I see him sitting here on his excavator, and he's looking up. He's looking up there, and he's got this look on his face like he just saw something. And I get up to him, and I didn't know, right? And I get up, I'm like, Randy, what's up? He's like, I just saw a Yeti. I just saw a Sasquatch. I'm like, what? And Randy's the last person that would be bullshitting you. He's a straight edge dude. He never believed in any of that stuff. Totally converted. He's like, I saw one. I know what it was. He saw the, up there on the side of the hill, and there's just the look on his face and everything. So, I mean, the weeks afterwards, he did not stray from his story. He said, I'm looking, he started doing research on it. He wanted to go to meetings. Like, yeah, he was into it. He was far enough away that he was watching it from a distance.
Ah, I see.
But he said it was kind of looking back at him, but then trying to get its way,
Yeah, that's amazing.
So we named a strain after it. After Randy. It's called Randy's Conversion.
That ride was no f***ing joke. Oh my God. Almost fell down a mountain cliff. That's crazy.
Not the trail we just came down, but one of my walking trails. I walked past a dead mountain.
Oh wow, that's sad.
And I was like, whoa, what was that? And then I found out that the younger mountain lions, if they come into a zone of an older mountain lion, that mountain lion will take them out.
Yeah.
Because it's their zone. But it was pretty weird, and it got me, because that was when I first got here. So one of the first things that I was like, oh man. So now when I was walking around, I'd be like, okay, make some noise. I'd be like, hey, coming around the corner. Because this is an 80-acre piece of property, and so the bulk of it, like what we came down, is kind of just the edge. It really goes that way, way up the mountain there. And so I've like scoured all these parts, but yeah, when you're thinking there's mountain lions around, you gotta be ready. That's everything in the back. This is the danky one. You can smell a little bit as it's coming out. This is the cross. So we breed all our own seeds on the THC side. We did do a few clones. We'll buy some clones, so that we can pollinate. I'll show you. We have seeds out there that we pollinated this year. We just go up to the branch and bring our pollen. And I don't like to call us breeders because we do it our style, which is it's a different male every year because I don't keep a room going all winter. So I have every year we'll have a new male, and then we'll do some back crossing and try different things. But you'll see out there, this is the first year we did direct seeding. So we didn't do any greenhouse work. We just came out with a seeder because we made so much seed and seeded it along, and we learned a bit about it. It's part of our trying to get simpler, trying to just keep it as natural as possible. Getting a little clouds today. First time in like
it's
20
nice.
weeks.
Actually, it was maybe a little too hot, if anything, yesterday.
Oh, it was hot. Yeah.
And
Feels good, right?
frankly, the cover, I think, helps with just light.
Berry pie crossed with super silverheads. That's what you're smelling.
Yeah, it smells like dessert. Like it's very sweet. Yeah. What's this?
This is, okay, that's a phenotype of grease monkey crossed with our strain called Mountain Girl. So we're famous for, our strain is Mountain Girl.
Okay.
Right? And that's a cross of Granddaddy Purple, and you're familiar with Williams Wonder?
No.
The Williams, where they grew for many years out in the Williams area. They had a strain called Williams Wonder. So this,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's a good one.
that's crazy. It smells like a blackberry lemonade or something.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
artificial sugar. Oh wow.
Little handle on the side there. This one's got You've heard of daikon radish?
No, I can't say I have.
Yeah, so like we have these daikons growing all out throughout here, so they'll have these huge taproots on them. See that? And then they go down and loosen up the soil for us. So
Okay.
This is how, and then we mix it all in, and that's how we.
Do you eat those?
I'll eat a little bit of it.
All right.
They're pretty spicy.
It's like a wasabi type thing, or
Yeah, I mean it's. Lambs in space. That's one of the words.
that's a funny name.
Yeah, it's a little spicy. We have bear and the cougars and all of them walking around here, and these plants are absorbing all this energy. So it's the real deal. This is outside. This is under the sun. I mean, look, we're at 30 down here. We're at 3,600 foot elevation. Up at the top, we were at 4,500. So they're that much closer. So it's more intense sun rays on them. So they're pushing maybe a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in the native soil. We lucked out with this location because that's what I was looking for is, where can I find a mountain environment that has good enough soil that we don't have to truck in potting soil and all that stuff. We did it right into what's here. And it turned out to be pretty good. I mean, we have some zones that need a little help, but for the most part, it's really good. This is the Sherbert Silver with the straw nan across with that, but the clones start. My name is Matt Dolinar, and this is Pilot Farm. We are located in Southern Oregon, just south of Ashland, Oregon. We're up in the mountains, as you can see. This location here is about 3,600 foot elevation. The upper canopy is at 4,500 elevation. As far as I know, we're one of the few high elevation farms, absolutely. It's a very unique growing situation here, and not your typical farm, as you can see. It takes some extra care. There's a shorter season. We deal with weather situations that can be very positive and can be very challenging sometimes. The positive is what you're feeling right now is nice cool breeze, and right at harvest time, and nice and dry and sunny, and and it's a little bit cooler, so the plants respond to that really well as well. Up here at elevation, you're going to see colder nights that can really push these plants, push the terps, push the medicine to really, in our opinion, reveal itself a little bit better. It can be a quality. So what we like here also is when the storms do come in at harvest time, sometimes down in the valley you can see more molds. Up here we don't deal with that as much because of the colder temperatures. So we fall into a range where we don't see as much mold as they do down in the valleys, because when it warms up, it's a perfect temperature and environment for that. And up here, typically the storm will come in and then it leaves and we have blue skies and dry weather again. So we grow both type 1 and type 3 flower out here. We have an OLCC license here in Oregon for our type 1 flower, and we're in that market. And then as you saw up above, that's where we have our type 3. Yeah, we're really enjoying having both. We learn a lot. We've learned a lot from growing the type 1 to apply to growing the type 3. And as you can see, plants they're from the same family. We know how to work with them. And it's been really awesome to work with these breeders like Zoe's and East Fork cultivars and get these good genetics out here. I started growing, we started with the OLCC, we started that back in 2016 is when that went legal. But I've been growing type 1 cannabis for 30 years now, maybe more. So yeah, there's a story of when I was a teenager growing back in those days, I grew up in California, so we still got really good weed, but we still grew our own. And I was caught growing plants up on my parents' roof back when I was 15 years old. So it's been a minute. I'm 57 now. Been doing this a long time. We were the 8th farm, I believe, licensed in Oregon. It was a really smooth transition because we had already been doing it. We already had our own genetics. We were already breeding. So when we entered that market, it really was a nice transition, and we got a foothold pretty quick. One of our strains, Mountain Girl, took off. People really loved it. That's a cross. The Mountain Girl's a cross of Granddaddy Purple with the famous Williams Wonder. Jesha from Lost Oak Farms has really helped us get launched into type 3 farming and the hemp world, and also Shabazz here. And we're really appreciative of you guys and the work that you're all doing, and we're really happy to be part of this community, and the work that you both are doing that is really helping us with genetics and getting the word out and marketing and getting this flower into the people that want to smoke it and want to enjoy not only smoking it, but the tinctures and the salves and everything else we do, the gummies and the chocolates, and getting the good flower into the people's hands. Being that we've already been in, the type 1, industry for a long time now, all of our skills that we built up there, especially the marketing and the sales of, the packaging and the branding, really has helped us transition into this world of hemp and type 3. So we're familiar with all these things and really know what people want, and we're building a lifestyle brand and really love to share that with everybody in the community, and it seems to be being received really well. Pilot Farm is certified organic on the hemp side, on the type 3, and then for OLCC we can't be certified organic, but we are certified Sun and Earth. So we have both certifications, and Sun and Earth is kind of next level organics. Their requirements are a little bit deeper. We have to have community involvement, and we do that through farmers markets and different things we're doing, and really strict with how we treat our employees, how we pay our employees. Also on the regenerative, on the soil side, It's, we have to be in the native soil. We're not under hoop houses and using potting soils. And
How do you feel about plastic?
how do I feel about plastic? Well, we're trying to move away from it as much as possible. It's not easy. I mean, even this year, this is one of our biggest years because you can see we don't have any nets out here. We've had nets in the past. If you look at, well, you'll see the posts and things around, and we're really proud of the fact that we didn't use netting this year, and we figured out a way how to do it. And it's really one of those things where you just have to take a leap of faith. It's not, in theory, you're like, oh yeah, we don't need nets. Oh yeah, we don't need all that fertilizer. We don't need those things. And so that's really our philosophy out here, is less is more. Like, we just let the plants do their thing. The whole idea of finding a place like this was just that. Like, get them into nature, right? Surrounded by the most beautiful place you could possibly be, and let them do their thing. So if we were looking at it in the vineyard sense, right, they use the word terroir. This is our terroir. This is where these plants live for how many months? 5, 6 months sometimes. They're rooted in this soil. They're hearing the birds. They're listening to the bear walk by. They're listening to the cougars in the brush. The deer are milling around. You just saw the jackrabbit come through here. There's rattlesnakes we find all the time. They're with these animals, this soil, this sun, right? This is where they're meant to be, where they're plants, right? So when we talk about, if we were to compare this to, I know this can be controversial sometimes, but to an indoor grow, this is our laboratory. This is their laboratory. This is where we come to hang out with them, but honestly, we don't do much. We let them do their things. If bugs come in, we let the predators come in and take care of it. We don't spray anything on these plants at all. These plants didn't get any fertilizer this year. We don't use that. We use wood chips, we make compost, we use cover crops, that's it. There's no sprays that go on here. If anything's happening, we scout around and look, and sometimes the crew will be like, hey Matt, but there's something on the plants. I'm like, let it be. Wait, watch what'll happen. Sure enough, soldier beetles come in, lady bugs come in. Different things take care of different elements that might be a problem in an indoor grow. We don't have to do that here. We just let it go. But the biggest thing here is this environment. This is why this is special. This is why this is unique. This is why it's similar to a vineyard situation, where somebody that, if wine was their thing, they're talking about what's in the soil. What is it surrounded by, right? That's what these flowers have. That's why this flower is different from another farm, even an outdoor farm's flower, because of what's here. You're gonna taste those little nuances when you taste our flower. You're gonna go, oh, that's pilots. That's what's different. That's the little thing that makes it different. I'm not saying that can't happen in an indoor grow, but you can see the difference. If I said to you, to a winemaker, hey, I just brought this warehouse and I'm gonna grow your vines in there, you'd look at me like I'm crazy, right? We moved indoor in the cannabis side because it was illegal and we had to hide. We don't have to hide anymore. This is where these plants are meant to grow. And I haven't even talked about the sustainability side of it. I mean, we don't pay for that right there. That's happening every day. Yes, we deal with things, and I'm not, look, I mean, indoor, there's some beautiful stuff that comes out of there. There's no doubt. This is just different. That's all we're saying. This is something that I think takes a minute to understand, because if somebody's been smoking indoor for a long time, it's kind of like different foods you eat. You get used to it. This is what I like. But until you taper off and start tasting the nuances of an outdoor farm and the flowers, how they grow out here, and the different terpenes that are going to come out, the different ways that we cure our weed. You saw our curing process, and some of that's similar to the indoor, but there's also some things that are not. But that's really what we're talking about here, is just, it's different. And that's why, you know, it's fun to try all the different ones.
You want to talk about what your dry and cure process is? Do you do anything unique or special?
Well, the dry and curing process, you know, we're working with nature too, right? So we have our dry sheds, and depending on what's happening, because we're not in a controlled environment all the time, meaning that on weeks like this is like easy drying and curing for me, because I kind of handle the dry rooms. The guys are out in the field doing their thing, and I'm handling the cure and the dry. And if I can be in an environment that I have 70 to 75 at the most inside my rooms, I'm going to be 60, 65. I can bring that humidity up because we're bringing in wet flower, and I can hang out around 45% humidity, and I just slow it down, let it go maybe 8-9 days at the most, because we have to cycle through because we're an outdoor farm, right? So we have the next round that's coming in, and we only have so many drying sheds, so we'll cap it off at around 8 or 9 days. Then they go into bins on the stock. We leave everything on the stock because we want that moisture in the stock to slowly make its way through and out to the bud, versus some people will, you know, bucket down, and that'll save space. We don't like to do that. We like to keep it on the stock so that the cure is a little better. So then they'll cure for another few weeks in those bins. We open them up, let them breathe, let them burp them, and you know, we know when it's done. But the whole process usually takes 3 to 4 weeks. We feel good about it at that point. So to start trimming. So if we're starting our harvest at early October, usually our first strains will be available around middle of November, by the time everybody settled it in from the harvest, because it's a big deal out here. Everything comes at once, and then we get ready and we start trimming and getting that process going. Yeah, so this year we for our type 3 flower, we grew from East Fork cultivars Pineapple Kush, we grew Blue Orchid, and we grew Wesley's Wish and Pear Blossom. So these strains turned out amazing, and they will be available. I mean, this harvest season, anybody that knows Southern Oregon, we're all just as happy as we can be. You can see the sun, it's been dry, it's been hot, and it's been perfect for ripening up these flowers. So those ones will be available middle of November. And then from Zoe Therapeutics, we did Critical Berry. We did 3 of the Bubbas, Bubba 66, Bubba 12, and Bubba 59. We did Royal OG and Lemon Octane. And all of these flowers just look amazing. Same thing, we're gonna have these available. You know, I say middle of November. It's always, you know, like I was saying before, it takes us a minute to regroup after we harvest, get everything cured, and start the trim process. And we trim by hand. Everything's done by hand. We don't use machines. I have a crew that really loves to work the winter trimming, so we set them up, and they take it one pound at a time, all by hand scissors. And so it'll be, these strains will, in middle of November, December 1st, around that time.
Thanksgiving-ish?
Thanksgiving-ish, let's call it that. On our Pilot Farms website, we're gonna have all these flowers available for retail purchase. We're not sure yet, you know, we'll wait to see what the market really wants, but we're thinking we'll have quarters and ounces available. You know, running specials on things here and there. This is new for us to really branch out and move from the type 1 world that we've been in to this whole other world that we're excited about going to, and having this flower available for everyone. And so this is going to be really cool for us. So we're open to what the market dictates, but yeah, we're thinking quarters and ounces. Besides flower, we also have just come out with, we have our CBD gummies that we made with the type 3 flower that we grew and was processed by Sun Gold Botanicals. And it's we're also doing tinctures that are also processed by Sun Gold. We also have a chocolate bar, and that was made by East Fork cultivars. So all of this includes our extract from the flower that we grew, and then we brought it to the processors, Sungold and East Fork, to make the products. And they're super yummy, super good. You'll see them on our website and on Pilot's website, Pilot Farm website, and we're super excited to get these out to the world because they're really yummy. You know, coming out of the Type 1 world and into the Type 3, we decided to do farmers markets with the Type 3 flower. And it's just giving us a taste of what it's like to be on our own outside of the OLCC world and the Type 1 world. And so right now I'm doing 3 farmers markets in the Portland area. One's in Hillsboro, and then 2 in Portland. One's in the downtown Portland called Szymanski Park, and the other one is in the Hollywood area of Portland, and that's on Saturdays. Szymanski Park's on Wednesdays, and the Hillsboro one just ended for the summer. That's Tuesday nights in Hillsboro. But we'll be doing those same ones next year and probably adding one more. We're not sure where we're going to be yet, but we want to add one more to it because it's just really, really cool to be out there, and I can't wait to be bringing these Type 3 flowers out fresh onto the table here pretty soon. It's going to be a few weeks, and that'll be at the Saturday market in Hollywood in Szymanski Park.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we got everything. You were very natural. You did great.
It took a minute. That
You
once
got into it. You found a rhythm.
it took that first, I didn't know what I was doing.
People are gonna love you, man.